Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me this evening. Wherever you are in the world, guys, please don't forget, before I start, you know the drill. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, all that jazz. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today, guys. Of course, I do have to do one real quick thing, guys. Let me just do this poll for you guys. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all blessed. Thank you so much for joining me today, of course, guys. Absolutely. And guys, please don't forget to put your notifications on as well. It would help immensely, of course, guys. Absolutely. Now, guys, let's get straight into the football, shall we, in regards to Manchester United. Guys, I'm just going to do this little poll for you, please. If you could just get involved in the poll, please. Let me just put this up real quickly before I do anything else, of course. So, yeah, look, you know what I mean. Let me, it has to be done. Now, let's do this. Okay. Have you smashed the like, guys? Because that's what's important, isn't it? There we go, guys. Thank you, guys, for joining me this evening, guys, on Chatterbox, of course. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all doing blessed, guys. Thank you so much. Now, guys, let's get straight into it now in regards to Manchester United, of course. The United's 120 million madness. What's that all about? Well, apparently, Manchester United walked away from a 120 million euro deal for Carlos Baleba in the summer, guys. Of course, the negotiations were so close. We felt that the deal was almost done. We felt that the deal was done. Even the protest before the game against Arsenal was cancelled because we all believed that the Carlos Baleba deal, what was going through. It should never have been cancelled anyway. We should never cancel protests against the Glazers, against Ineos, whoever it is against, if just because we're going to sign a player. That's not how it's done, guys. And lo and behold, as soon as they found out that the protest was going to be cancelled, you know what? The deal fell through, didn't it? Now, the price quote was 120 million. 120 million. Now, look, I agree. We shouldn't be paying that amount of money for Carlos Baleba. And right now, it's been proven to be right, isn't it? We should not pay that amount of money for Carlos Baleba. It's an absolute rip-off, to be honest with you guys. And he's worth 60 million. Of course, he's worth 60, 70 million. Around that mark would be suffice. I think that would be good enough for him. I just don't think 120 million is fair. Euros, of course, which is about 104, 105 million pounds, which is still a lot of money, guys, when you're thinking about the grand scheme of things, the way he's performed this season so far. It would have been an absolute disaster if he brought that form into Manchester United. You never know, do you? But Manchester United walked away from 120 million, guys. They were not going to proceed any further. As soon as they heard that number, they were like, do you know what? Forget that. I'm not dealing with that. No way, Jose. We're not going to be paying 120 million for a player, who's had one good season, in all fairness, in the Premier League, of course, guys. And as I said, so far, they've been proven right. But that's not to say that Carlos Baleba is a bad player. He's just not a 100 million pound player. 100 million pounds it is player. I just don't think he's that much. Take away about 30 million from that, guys. I think that will be more better. I think that'd be more realistic if I'm being honest with you. Look, I don't paint everyone with the same brush. I know what happens in football. Football isn't, you can't just, deal with it with absolutes. You can't deal with something with absolutes because at the end of the day, look, he's had a bad season this season. I'm not going to hold him against that, but obviously, the more games that go by and the performances keep declining and they're not increasing, there's obviously a big issue here, isn't there? Now, look, he's a highly talented player, but he is a 60 million pound player, in my opinion. He's a 60, 70 million pound player, 60 plus incentives, should do the deal, to be honest with you. However, according to a report, his valuation is around 56.7 million. That is his official valuation at the moment, given all the technical stuff and that, which has decreased quite significantly, of course, guys, absolutely. But this is one that's very interesting. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very, very telling in regards to Manchester United over the next couple of months, because when we're thinking about Ruben Amorim, is he going to survive until Christmas? Is he going to survive until January? That's a big one, because obviously, if the worst case scenario happens, and I hope it doesn't, but if it does and he gets sacked, we're going to have to pay Ruben Amorim off. Plus, we're going to have to pay the team that we're going to get the new manager from as well. So it's going to cost a little bit of money, which will obviously hamper any deals that are going to happen in January, of course. But Carlos Baleba, Manchester United officially walked away from the Carlos Baleba deal in the summer. However, this deal is still alive. It's not over. We could reapproach this deal in the future. Of course, it's going to be a little bit awkward given what happened before, because we walked away from 100 million. So it's basically like Brighton are going to say, well, we still want 100 million. Well, no, we can't pay 100 million because, well, he's not performed for you and stuff. It's a difficult one, isn't it? But that is business at the end of the day in regards to the Premier League, isn't it, guys? Now, according to Ben Jacobs, a good friend of the show, of course, Manchester United are interested in Semenyo. Antonio Semenyo, of course, has been linked to Manchester United in the past, and Manchester United have not given up hope in acquiring Semenyo. Now, Semenyo is also wanted by Liverpool. Now, I know what you guys are saying. Why do we need Semenyo when we got Cunha, when we got Embremo? Well, apparently Manchester United are going to offload a couple of players during the summer, if not during the January transfer window, and they need a squad. So if for example, for argument's sake, if the likes of Xerxes left, if the likes of Bruno left, Man United need cover in those positions, guys. And Semenyo fits the bill perfectly. Now, look, a great player, very good player. But is it a priority? That is the key. Is it a priority? Still, I believe the priority is the midfield. Although having Semenyo in the squad will be very, very interesting, because he's a very good player. He can assist, can score goals, you name it. He's an absolute baller, isn't he? I hate using that word, baller, but he is an absolute baller. Of course he is. He's an absolute dream of a player. But Manchester United do have Cunha, do have Embremo. Those are going to be the two first-team players, of course. But there's no harm in a little bit of healthy competition, is there? You know, this is what I'm saying. Look, at the end of the day, we always had that. The great Alex Ferguson teams of the past had competition. And the thing with competition is that it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you performing, you know, and I would love to have a competition within our football team, because you know what? I'm going to do better than you. You're going to do better than me. I'm going to score more goals than you. No, I'm going to score more goals than you. It's only good for Manchester United, isn't it? I remember when Teddy Sheringham, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Dwight York and Andy Cole indirectly were competing with each other, to be honest with you. They were competing with each other for goals, and we need that back. We need that little bit of competitive edge in our team back, and bringing in players like Semenyo and bringing in squad players that can build the squad, improve the squad. I'm not going to be opposed to. I'm not going to stick my nose up at it, because I do believe that Man United need a bigger squad. We're very threadbare, especially next season. If, fingers crossed, guys, we're in Champions League or in the Premier League, in the Europa League, of course. Fingers crossed, maybe even a Conference League, God forbid, of course, guys. But yes, Manchester United are still interested, according to Ben Jacobs, in regards to Semenyo. And yeah, great news. But I really, really want this midfield position fixed ASAP, guys. We really do need a midfielder in there. Absolutely, guys. At least one in January, of course. Now, another little bit of news, a guy I've mentioned before, of course, Alexander Pavlovic. Alexander Pavlovic is a CDM currently playing for Bayern Munich, of course, in English. 21 years old, German international, 7 caps for Germany, 1 goal at the moment. Now, look, I'm a big fan of this player. I think he's an absolutely brilliant player. I think he'll add a lot to our football team. However, would we sign him? 55 million euros valuation. Fit the bill perfectly, guys. Bayern Munich experience, international experience, you name it. Good player. And I wouldn't be opposed to a signing like that. It would be a great signing. Of course, Manchester United are interested in many CDMs at the moment, not least, of course, Adam Wharton, players of that ilk. But it is very good to have contingency plans. It's good to have plans in place in case we don't get the players that we're expected to get, or not expected to get. That will be difficult to get. So Pavlovic will mark a very, very good option, a very good contingency plan, in my opinion. Young and experienced. Perfect match, isn't it? At the end of the day, very good player. However, quite pricey, quite valuable. 55 million euros, about 40 million pounds. How much can we get Pavlovic for? It's going to be about 60, 70 million euros, isn't it? But it would be an absolutely incredible signing for Man United. Extremely talented player, of course, and yeah, we've been linked to him a couple of times. And as I've always said on this channel, guys, there's no smoke without fire. There's no smoke without fire when it comes to players that are mentioned more than once, because Pavlovic has come up a few times now. I've heard his name scattered about a few times now, which could only mean that Manchester United are interested in him. And somewhere, somehow, somewhere is someone saying, look, we should get Pavlovic. You know, he's a decent player, you know. So that's the little bit of transfer news that is going on. Of course, there's lots of things going on about the takeover process at Manchester United at the moment in the UAE. Of course, there are consortiums that are being linked to Manchester United and investments into Manchester United, which, let's be honest, guys, Manchester United need. Manchester United need investment. Manchester United need someone to come in and clear the debt and get hold of this football club on a full sale. That's what we need, and that is what we've always needed from the beginning, guys. Even when the sale process was going on with Qatar, with Jim Ratcliffe, you know, it was needed. It was needed. And it hasn't changed. We envisioned that this would happen. We envisioned that Ineos would struggle at Manchester United because of the problems that are at Manchester United. You know, what the problem was? The problem is that, you know, when Jim Ratcliffe came into this football club, I don't think he quite understood the magnitude of the problem at this football club, the magnitude of the problem with the Glazers at this football club. I just don't think he quite understood the problems that we have at the moment. And I think he just thought, you know what, I deal with it. You know, it's an egotistical sort of thing, isn't it? But you know what? There is still an opportunity. You know, there is still an opportunity for Man United to have a full sale, and that will be an absolute blessing for our football club. And only then will we be able to move on to the levels that we feel that we should be. We should be competing for league titles. We should be competing for Champions Leagues. That is what Man United are. That is where Man United should be. That is our football club at the end of the day. We need to be doing that, guys. Absolutely. And when you're talking about the likes of Semenyo, the likes of Adam Wharton, the likes of Pavlovic, the likes of Carlos Baleba, this will be no problem for the likes of UAE, for the Emirates and the consortium coming over here. This will be a no problem for them. It will be peanuts for them. Like, as I said, the ICD, which is the Investment Corporation of Dubai, they own 1.4 trillion in assets in the world, guys. 1.4 trillion, trillion. So at the end of the day, if they owned Manchester United, I don't think 100 million will be an issue for them. Absolutely not. Like it is for Jim Ratcliffe, etc. In fact, Manchester United's PSR and FFP will be through the roof because we will have no debt, guys. Absolutely. Now, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all doing well. Good to see everyone in the house, of course. Good to see everyone looking blessed. Of course, big up Ephraim. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Good afternoon. I think if we get 100 million for Baleba, they are having a laugh. Yeah, it's too much to pay on Baleba. Absolutely, my friend. Sal, it's good news. Lisandro Martinez is starting training with the first team. Yes, Lisandro Martinez is starting training with the first team. Great news. Of course, people underestimate how important that Lisandro Martinez is to the football club. He's a captain, isn't he? He's a captain. He's a fantastic player, and we've missed him. However, I would say that his career at Man United, I think this is his last chance. I really do, because if he gets injured again, I don't think Man United can cope. I don't think we can carry Licha Martinez. He needs to be fit for a longer period of time. Look, it's not his fault. It's the way that Licha Martinez plays. Licha Martinez plays very, very competitively. He's very, very, how would you say it, risky in his challenges. When he goes for challenges, he puts his body on the line. And this is why he gets injuries. And this is why he gets long-term injuries, of course, guys, which is, disappointing. And guys, I want to know your opinion, because if he gets injured again and he's out for a few months again, what do we do? What do we do? Do we just keep him? Do we keep him? Do we just say, all right, we're going to give it another chance and blah, 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 or do we move on from it, guys? Talk of the Devil. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I haven't got your name there, mate. Talks of the Devils. I've got the actual @ I don't know why. Hi, Sal. Hope you're well. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you again. Good afternoon, Sanjay. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hope you're blessed, of course. Big up, my friend Ryan. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Evening, guys. Arsenal fans saying Arteta will dominate the league in the next 5 years. What the hell? He's been there 6 years. They want to dominate the league now. He should be dominating the league now. He's been there 6 years. If he's not going to dominate now, when's he going to dominate? In the next... Who's saying that? Is it Hamza? Who is it? Because at the end of the day, look, that is delusional. That is delusional. I mean, come on, man. Like a decade. So basically 11 years, they're saying that Tata would dominate football. You know what I mean? Goodness me, I'll be a millionaire in 10 years. Everyone can say that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, look, football is about what happens now, not what's going to happen in 10 years. You know, Arsenal fans do make me laugh. They do make me chuckle. I'm telling you guys, they are so delusional. They are so full of it. It does make me laugh, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, Arteta has won 0 trophies. And when they talk about Ten Hag and when they talk about all these managers have won more than Arteta in 5 years, in our worst period in our history. It's just like Thierry Henry said. In Man United's worst period, the period where everyone laughs at, we reached 5 finals. 5 finals. That's what Thierry Henry said. Do you know what I mean? Wesley, what's going on, mate? Sal, I think if the UAE takes full control, then it can be that we will have money for it. It can that we will have the money for it. Yes, this is the big thing, Wesley. This is the big thing, because is this a sign that we are going to be bought out? Or we are going to have money to spend? Is this a sign? I really do hope so. I don't want to get overly zealous, of course, because we've been let down before. We were let down with the Qatar takeover over a year ago now, isn't it? We were let down with that. I mean, I read papers today. I saw a little screenshot of a newspaper, The Sun, actually saying that Qatar have won the race for Manchester United, but it was taken another 2 months. That is how close we were to having a full sale, guys. Until Jim Ratcliffe came out of nowhere with his vanity project. That is how close. A year to the day, guys. You know, 2 years to the day. Ephraim, Sal, we will sign a midfielder in January? Look, guys, it depends. It depends on what Manchester United do during January. If Kobe Mainoo does not stay at the football club, if Kobe Mainoo goes on loan or gets sold, then I would envision that Man United will replace the midfield position. Whether that is with a loan or whether that is with a full sale, Man United will need bodies in there. They will need to sign a couple of more players. Definitely, guys, absolutely. And guys, look, I'm not turning my back on the youth team either. I'm very excited about the youth team. I'm very excited about JJ Gabriel, Shea Lacey, Musa, Fletcher brothers. I'm excited. Thwaites, who's been compared to Pedri. I'm excited about that. But just the only problem with Manchester United at the moment is that I don't think we're producing enough midfielders, central midfielders, CDMs, that ilk, those sort of players. Do you know what I mean? I don't think we're building midfielders to the level that I feel we should build, because we're very, very short on those. Do you know what I mean? Even in the youth team. Big up, Kevin. What's going on, my friend? How you doing? Good to see you again. Adam Ward would be great for Manchester United for 60 million. He would be absolutely phenomenal, Kevin, for 60 million. An absolute game-changing signing. He's my favourite. I'll be honest with you. I know he's got a little bit of injury record going on there, but he is my favourite player in regards to the midfield position. I think he will solidify that midfield position incredibly well with his versatility, with his passing range, with his strength, with his work ethic. He reminds me of Carrick. He really does. And I think this is a type of player that Sir Alex Ferguson would have purchased if he was still here, guys. He would have purchased him. 60 million, an absolute steal, an absolute daylight robbery. Brilliant player, of course. And makes you wonder how comes Baleba was being ranked at 100 million. It's ridiculous, isn't it? At the end of the day. However, what I would say is that Adam Wharton, according to reports, is not going to sign in January. I know a lot of people said Adam Wharton, 60 million signing in January. Adam Wharton has given a gentleman's agreement in regards to staying at Crystal Palace until the summer. And that is what I'm hearing. He's staying at the Crystal Palace till the summer. And I can't envision how Crystal Palace will be willing to sell one of their price, if not the price asset of themselves in January, especially the way they've started this season. They've actually started the season incredibly well, and they've actually done better than us, haven't they? So I don't know if that happened unless we add another 20 million on top of it. I can't see that happen. I think that will be a summer move. I really do. Guys, absolutely. I'm not saying it's impossible. Things do happen in football. Things can change in football. You know, football can change overnight. You know, and just like opinions in football, you know. Wesley, I agree with you. Would rather Wharton. I would rather Wharton at this present time as well. Sam Hoskins has became just the 4th player to score a century of goals for Northampton Town. Why do I keep getting Luke Chapman, a Northampton fan, in here? Look, Luke. Fair play to Northampton Town, my friend. Fair play to Northampton Town, but no one cares, brother. No one cares about Northampton Town. I wish you well. I wish you well. I like Northampton. It's a nice place. But anyway, yeah, I wish you well, mate. Peace and blessings, mate. Just as RG said, big up RJ, how you doing, my friend? Hope we're doing well. Really good to see you, my guy. Really good to see you, of course. Did you see Michael Oliver for Liverpool game? Look, you know what? I was going to bring this into the... Obviously, Coot, who had that controversy last year. Remember, he gave that penalty against us because of Mr. Oliver upstairs. But Coot has been pleaded guilty, which is absolutely shameful at the end of the day. And how the PGMO couldn't have spotted a dodgy referee, I don't know. But then again, it's no surprising, isn't it, at the end of the day? In regards to Michael Oliver, it's an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. Michael Oliver should be nowhere near Manchester United games. Nowhere near. The history between Manchester United and Michael Oliver, it goes back years, guys. I could write a book about Michael Oliver decisions that have gone against Manchester United. And not only decisions, we're talking about controversial decisions. It's absolutely disgraceful that he's the referee for the game. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Absolutely. Big up, RJ. We will let City find their feet, but to me, City are still frauds, but Liverpool will be a very good test. I feel the team know this. Absolutely, we do. Of course. Dave, what's going on, my friend? Hope we're doing well. We need new owners to get these players. We do. And hopefully we will get them. I'm not saying that Man United won't sign one or two more players, but we're not going to get the rebuild that we so desire and what we've been craving for many, many years. We've always gone into this summer window and having enthusiasm, being optimistic. And by the time the window is finished, we're like, well, it wasn't done. We didn't fix that position. We didn't fix that position. Now, it's great. We signed Cunha, we signed Bruno, we signed Sesko. We got a last-minute goalkeeper. Fantastic. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Man United need an owner who's going to come in and do a Chelsea. Basically, we got an American owner, but we got the worst American owner in football, right? Chelsea got a good American owner who likes to spend money. We got the bad one. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. So, look, we need someone to come into this football club and absolutely blow the bloody doors off. As Michael Caine once said, of course. That's what we need. You know, and we need someone to say, right, what needs fixing? He needs to go to Ruben Amorim. Who needs to leave the football club? Okay, Shaw needs the football club. We pay him off. He's going to no longer be playing for this football club. You know, who do you need to replace him? What's your favorite left back? What's your favorite centre midfield positions and stuff? And that's what we needed. In fact, we got something completely different. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. Wesley. I see now Semenyo has a release clause. I wonder what the price is. About 60 million, I think, Wesley. 60 million as well. Sal, it's good international game is over today. I'm excited for the Liverpool game. Last day of the international break. Yeah, 19th of October is the Liverpool against Man United. The biggest game in the English calendar. No matter what anyone says, it is the biggest game in English football. In British football, it's the biggest game. Looking at Champions League titles, etc., it is the biggest game in football, in English football and British football. And it's a massive game, and I can't wait for it. I really can't wait for it. And I just hope that Man United implement themselves well. I hope they go in there believing that they can win the game. Not be overruled, not be intimidated by Liverpool and the Anfield crowd. Because obviously this is the problem that a lot of teams have at Anfield. It's the crowd, it's the atmosphere. Because Liverpool are not that team. They're not a team that are going to be scaring the living daylights out of you. They're not the best team ever to play in the Premier League, are they? You know what I mean? And in fact, they're nowhere near. You know, so I would actually think that the team of the 90s team of Liverpool will beat them. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So I would say that Man United have nothing to fear. Great Man United have been, Man United teams have been in the past against better Liverpool sides, and we've won. Right, and I think that we should believe in ourselves on Sunday. And I can't wait for that. This international break has been jarring. It's gone on it seems like it's been going on forever. I don't know about you guys, but this international break has been going on for like months. It feels that way, doesn't it? The drama with Sancho is ridiculous. Look, guys, whatever happens in Jadon Sancho's private life, that's up to him. But at the end of the day, I mean, many of us warned people about Jadon Sancho. You know, I posted a tweet a few months ago. I think it was a year ago now, of Jadon Sancho training. When he was playing for Man United, he was training and there were some half-hearted press-ups and that. And I was talking about the fine margins in football in regards to if you're not training properly, how you're going to play well on the pitch and stuff like that. And people tap me for it. Now, look, guys, you know the great thing about life is a great education, isn't it? And people are now starting to see the true colours of Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho is complete problem child. He is an absolute mess. Trust me, man. And guys, look, I'm quite worried that Jadon Sancho might be back in the summer, guys. Let's not forget that. We have not sold him. We have not sold him. We have not sold Marcus Rashford as well. And as we know, Marcus Rashford has been mouthing off again. And, we're going to have these players back in the summer. If Barcelona don't pull the trigger, Barcelona, they're Barcelona very, very stingy guys. When it suits them, they're stingy. If they don't pull the trigger, we're going to have Marcus Rashford come back to the football club as well. Goodness me. Wesley, Sal, my work colleagues love your podcast. I had 5 of them standing around me watching your morning podcast. Thank you so much, Wesley. Really appreciate that. And big up everyone over there. Big up everyone. Thank you so much. And thank you for your compliments, guys. I would say you're easily pleased, but thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate all your support. I really do. Don't forget to subscribe, spread the message, smash a like. All you guys, if you've got YouTube channels, go out there and just absolutely spam the channel. That's what you do, guys. Thank you so much for all your support, guys. Absolutely. Big up everyone. Big up Wesley. Sal, is there any truth in Manchester United want to keep Casemiro beyond this season? There is a slight bit of truth, but the context is that he would only stay if he gets a wage reduction. He's our highest paid player, guys. Casemiro is our highest paid player, 370,000 a week. So if Man United managed to get his wage lower, that'd be fantastic. I actually think we need to sell him. I think we needed to sell him last season, guys. I really did. I think he needs to leave Man United now. I think that his legs are gone slightly, if you know what I mean. And a fair play to him. He's a generational CDM. He's always been a fantastic CDM. He's the best CDM in the past 15 years. Definitely, guys. And I applaud him for what he has done. But Man United need to know when to move on. It's just like Harry Maguire. We need to know when to move on, guys. Come on. These players are not going to get any better, guys, right? They're not going to get any better. Now, look, if Casemiro, if Harry Maguire are quite happy to sit on the bench, right, whilst we sign other midfielders and 2 or 3 midfielders are ahead of them, then that's okay. But I can't for the life of me see how Casemiro will be sitting on the bench on 300 grand odd a week. We're not playing football. I don't think that makes business sense, in my opinion. Man United need to give opportunities to younger players. Man United need to open the door for younger players now. Man United have got a conveyor belt of young players coming through who we need to give an opportunity to. I'm not saying every single one of them needs to come in the team and they have to play. I'm not saying that. But what I would say is that we need to give a few of them a chance. We do. And we've been very, very stale on giving young players from our academy a chance, even though we've got some great young players in the academy. Look, Real Madrid are interested in JJ Gabriel, guys. Right? That hurts me to say that, but they are. They're interested in JJ Gabriel. That for me would represent an absolute disaster. JJ Gabriel is an absolute generational player. Let me tell you guys, when that player hits 16, he's 15 now, but when he hits 16, he can't play now. I think Man United should start bedding him into the squad. When he hits 16, that guy is going to be playing football for Manchester United. That's how good that guy is. Let me tell you, we shouldn't put too much pressure on him, absolutely. But at the same time, we got to try and fend off interest from suitors like Real Madrid. We got to do that. He needs to make his mark at Manchester United. And this is why Manchester United need to become more of a welcoming place to be. Because at the moment, we're very, very toxic. When you're looking on the outside of Manchester United, anyone, whether it's rival fans, other players at other football clubs, are Manchester United enticing? Are Manchester United attractive? And we have to be honest with ourselves, guys. Are we? What we used to be? We're certainly not, are we? We're not as attractive as we used to be. So we need to make sure that we change the narrative, we change the record, and Manchester United becomes much more of an attractive place to be, right? And we need to show that these young players as well. We need to show these young players that there is a door. There is a path for them to get into the first team. Because at the moment, it seems like they're very, very difficult to get into that first team. Incredibly difficult because it's not happening. Back in the day when I was growing up, guys, Man United, there was always a path. There was always a player coming through. Whether they made it or not, whether they were good enough or not, there was always a path for those players to come through, guys, and a path for them to succeed at this football club, of course. Big up, Dave. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're blessed. Hello, Sal. I see we have been linked with 60 million players. What budget do we actually have for the January transfer? Can I be honest with you, Dave? I'll be honest with you, quite honest with you, mate. Man United won't spend much money in January. The only way Man United will spend money in January, because this is the fiscal year, right? This is the fiscal year. But however, what I would say is that what Man United fans we have to remember, we shouldn't remember the Baleba transfer. Let me tell you, because we bid 55 plus 5 million for Carlos Baleba. That's how much we bid. That money's still there. That money's still there. Some of it. We did spend some of it on Seny Lamens, by the way, guys, just to let you know. So we got some of that money there. Now, the only way that Manchester United will spend that amount of money in the summer, in January, will be if a likes of Kobe Mainoo or Xerxes leave the football club. That is all it is. I can see Man United doing a loan. I'm not ruling that out. I know there's Ruben Neves around. Conor Gallagher is around as well. I can see Man United doing that. However, history proves Man United don't really spend that much money in January, do they? You know, we haven't done it for many years, but it is well needed. Adam Wharton would be a summer transfer. The only player that I can envision coming in the January is Carlos Baleba. But at the same time, Carlos Baleba is going to be at the AFCON, isn't he? So it's going to be difficult to do a deal for Carlos Baleba as well. But that could be sorted out between his agents, etc. And that could be agreed over the phone or Skype or something like that of that ilk. But I just can't see it, Dave. I just can't see Man United going out there and splashing 60 million on a player if we still got our players there and no one's leaving. I just can't see it. And it does irritate me a little bit, Dave. You know, it does irritate me that we didn't get these deals done during the summer, you know. We all said we needed a new midfielder, didn't we? No way City escaped these charges. Look, guys, let me tell you something about Man City and these charges, right? If Man City get away with these charges, I think every single person to a man must ignore FFP and PSR because there's an absolute farce. If rules can be manipulated, what's the point of having the rules there anyway? You know, Man United built this Premier League through fairness. You know, I know a lot of people say we had the referees in our pockets, etc. It's a lie. It's a myth. This was an excuse that the losers use on us, right? We never cheated. We never went out there and splashed the cash. Arsenal spent more than us. Liverpool spent more than us. Newcastle spent more than us. You know what I mean? We weren't in the top three of at the end of it, even though we could have been because of the amount of money we accumulated. We could have went out there and got Zidane, got Kluivert, got Ronaldo, any player we wanted to back in the 90s. Do you know what I mean? But we didn't, you know. But Man City have cheated and Man City need to be held accountable. But I don't think they are, mate. I don't think they are going to be punished. I really don't. I mean, I would be extremely surprised if Manchester City are deducted points or put into another division. You know, I would be. GC TV, what's going on, my friend? Yes, Sal, big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. I want Baleba and Anderson or Anderson and Ruben Neves. Look, guys, at the moment, when we're looking at Man United's midfield, RJ, anything at Man United will be an upgrade. Anything at Man United will be an upgrade at the moment. I'm being honest, guys. I'm not being overly critical. I just think that anything at the moment that represents balance, athleticism, and energy would be an upgrade for Man United. Look, you know what? I think Bruno's been a fantastic signing for Manchester United. I think he has been an absolute game changer for Man United. But we need to know when to call it a day. He's not a number 8. And I know that we're still trying to squeeze him into the team. But he's not a number 8, guys. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Guys, absolutely. Big up, RJ. Dave, with the continued links to players, is the recruitment team still recruiting players for the club to suit any system or coach or recruiting for Amram? Now, look, that's a very good question, Dave. It is a very good question. And I believe they are. I'm going to have to say they are. Right, because I'm looking at it at the moment and we are interested in midfielders. We are interested in a certain type of player, i.e. Semenyo, which kind of fits into Ruben Amram's team. Semenyo can play on the left wing. He can play on the left wing. He can play as number 10. He could be on that wing, running up and down that wing, of course, and creating havoc. That is what I think that's what Ruben Amram is thinking about at the moment. When we're thinking about Semenyo, he's thinking about having an attacking left winger there that can create, that can score goals, that can cause havoc for the opposition. I like to think that we are looking at players that suit Ruben Amram's system, which is why we're looking at the likes of Vanderson, for example, and Mora for the future, etc. You know, I like to think that we are looking at that. You know, we have to look at that. Manchester United, what we've had over the years is an inconsistency, like Rashford said, but we've also not had a plan. When you think about Barcelona and you think about Real Madrid and La Masia and stuff like that, they have a style of play that goes all the way down to the under 8s, all the way up to the first team, right? And every single player that walks into that Barcelona team, it's no coincidence, can fit that system to a T because they've been playing it their whole lives. And I think this is what Man United need to do. Man United need to say, okay, Ruben Amram's our guy. His system is our system. We're going to play this system from the under-21s even further down, and we're going to bring it up to the first team. So when any young player comes in, they're going to be used to that system, and even purchasing players that fit that system. Now, I don't think it's that difficult to do. I don't think it's difficult to bring players into that system. All this thing that they can't play in the system is just all mythical nonsense from woke people who think that the system is the problem. I do believe that, and I like to believe, and I hope the truth is that we are looking to bring in players that fit the system, fit Ruben Amram's style, of course. Alex, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you again. Absolutely. Is it Fergie71? Big up. So I'd also like Baleba as a midfield signing next to Wharton. Barella. Oh, sorry, not Baleba, Barella. Yes, mate. Absolutely fantastic play. He's gone under the radar, isn't he? Fantastic mention there, Alex. Haven't spoken about him in a while, but he's an absolute brilliant player. Brilliant player, Barella. Would be cheaper than Baleba. And playing him alongside Wharton, ouch. It would be absolutely incredible if we managed to do that, guys. Like I said, there are options out there. I must have mentioned about 30 central midfielders off the cuff over this last few months, guys. There are loads of options out there for Manchester United. Loads of options. And to be honest with you, I would be happy with any couple. If we get two in the house, if we get two midfielders in, I think, and they're of quality, that would be brilliant. Big up, Toxie. What's going on, my friend? Long time no speak. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Big up, William. What's going on, my bro? Good to see you again. Hi, Sal. I'm disgusted with the news of that pervert ref. Makes you feel sick. It does make me feel sick, William. Absolutely disgusting. How this guy wasn't investigated, how he became a referee. These things, guys, I don't know how they miss these. I don't know how they miss these things. I don't know. But it just goes to show you where referees are in this country, the PGMO. It just goes to show you where we are as a Premier League in regards to refereeing. Our refereeing as a whole, it's been an absolute circus, a mess, an absolute mess. And this news is disgusting. And every time I think about Coot, guys, I do think about him watching that screen for 25 minutes to find a mistake on Man United to give a penalty. I mean, and then obviously he got influenced by Michael Oliver, who's going to be refereeing the game on Sunday, God forbid. But then to hear this news today, which just absolutely squashes everything about football and is way beyond football, is absolutely it's horrible, mate. And my heart goes out to the victims, Toxie, please tell me who we're not giving Maguire a new contract. Look, Toxie, my friend. Unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news to you, my friend Toxie, but it does look like we're going to be giving Harry Maguire a new contract. I know it's not me, mate. I don't make the decisions. I would get rid of Harry Maguire. What does Harry Maguire signify? For me, if someone told me to paint an image of Harry Maguire, right, in regards to his time at Man United, it would just represent losing. And not just him. I would talk about Bruno, I would talk about Shaw, I would talk about all these players who've been there for a number of years. And I don't think that we should be hanging on to players that only experience is losing football matches, not challenging for leagues, not playing in the Champions League. We need to move on from that and build a new legacy, guys. I know it's money-saving exercise. I know it. This is all it could be. It is a money-saving exercise. Keeping Harry Maguire is saving money at the end of the day. And this is what I believe, and giving him a new contract would just help Man United not sign a new player, a new defender. Look, we've got a decent defense. We've got Leacher coming back. Hopefully he stays fit. We've got Aiden Heaven. We got Delict. We got Mazarui. We got Lenny Yoro. Decent players there. We do need one more. Obviously, they're thinking about keeping Harry Maguire on the bench. What can we do? Of course, William. Biggest league in the world with the worst referees. Shameful. It is, mate. Look, I've said it many times, William. I don't know what you guys think about this, but I've always believed that we should have referees from abroad. I'm not saying just abroad. I'm not being like that. I'm saying that because we have players from all around the world, why don't the referees get mixed up? Why don't we mix in French referees, Italian referees, Spanish referees, Portuguese referees, etc., with the Premier League and vice versa? Why don't we do that? Because I'll be honest with you guys, and I've been thinking like this for a very long time. I think a lot of these referees that are raised during the 90s, a lot of them don't like Man United. A lot of them have experienced Man United under Alex Ferguson, and it's their time to get their own back. So I believe that we shouldn't be opposed to having foreign referees. Why not? Why not? We have foreign players. Why not have foreign referees? We have foreign managers. Have foreign referees now. We need to move on from that. Why does the referee have to be English? As long as they're in the EU, they should be able to manage referee the football matches in the Premier League. And the English referee should be able to manage referee the football matches in the Spanish league, etc. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Can we take Keenan Yildiz on loan with an option to buy? I don't think Juventus would do that, my friend. Keenan Yildiz is an extremely sought-after player. Many clubs want him, not just Manchester United. Unfortunately, Real Madrid, for example, want him. Arda Güler, who plays for Real Madrid and Turkey, of course, is also very close to Keenan Yildiz as well. So it's going to be a difficult one to acquire. Manchester United are really interested in Keenan Yildiz. When you're thinking about top 5, top 10 players in Europe right now who are up and coming, Keenan Yildiz is one of those players. And it's a player that I mentioned many months ago, of course, guys, before it was popular, when he was playing for the next generation Juventus team, of course, guys. And he's been known of for the last year and a half, you know. And if I was Manchester United right now, I would try and see if we can make a deal with that player, because he is going to be an absolutely ridiculous player. Now, people say, but he's a number 10. He's not just a number 10. He's a right wing and a left wing, right? We could play him on left wing. We could play him right wing. We could rotate him as well. Very, very versatile player, of course, guys. Absolutely versatile, guys. But a very, very important player for the future as well. When he comes to Man United, is another story. Man United needs to qualify for Europe, don't we? We need to try and qualify for Europe. It's very important. William, if we let JG go, I will lose my I would as well, William. I would as well. But at the moment, his contract is not protected. And whilst his contract is protected, we can't reject any approaches from clubs because he doesn't have an adult contract. Once he's got a professional contract, an adult contract at Manchester United, only then we can get in the way and say, no, we reject your offer. It's up to JJ Gabriel. And this is the biggest worry for me in regards to this. Look, guys, I don't know all the ins and outs, but when you're a certain age, if you're 14, 15 years old, you're perfectly entitled to go to any club in Europe if you wish. The only thing is that that club would have to pay a compensation fee. And that's it. And that compensation fee isn't going to be an astronomical fee either. It's going to be 1 million, 2 million and stuff like that. So, look, guys, you know, I really hope that Man United try and persuade him to stay. Toxie, Amram has too much respect for Casemiro then and put him on the bench. I just feel like, Toxie, we don't have any option. I feel like, Toxie, we needed midfield reinforcements. Ruben Amram wanted midfield reinforcements and we didn't get the reinforcements. We've only got, realistically, guys, CDM. We've only got Casemiro and Ugarte. CDM, right? Number 8, we got Mainoo and Bruno. Who else we got? You know, and that's what we have to understand. So it's between Ugarte, who has not been playing well, and Casemiro, who's experienced. So it's quite obvious that Man United need a number 6. You know, and that's what Man United needed during the summer. You know, so I don't blame Ruben Amram for not dropping Casemiro. He basically has no choice. You know what I mean? Unless we bring in a youth player, which is going to be very, very risky, of course. Isn't Asna using a 15-year-old on the bench? Why can't we do the same with JJ? We can. I don't know why we don't. I've said it all along. We can. When he reaches 16, I think I'm talking about the professional contract. We can get him on a professional contract at 16 years old, I believe, so that he can't just leave the club, walk out. He should be on the bench. I agree with V here. He should be on the bench. Absolutely. Big up, Ty Borg, you legend. What's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Really good to see you back in the house, my guy. I hope you're blessed, of course. Yeah, JJ Gabriel should be in the squad now. I think we should try and fast track him now. Because we are in a very real situation here, guys, where we will lose him if we don't. We need to input in JJ's mind that, you know what, Manchester United is the place for you. Don't go anywhere else. Manchester United is the place for you. Absolutely. Big up, John. John, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Nothing is proceeded in regards to that. I'm not going to make up any bull craps like some other channels, but nothing is proceeded. The only thing I could say is that what I said this morning is that the UAE consortium who would like to remain unknown, it might not be the ICD, it might not be Legatum either. It could be any consortium in the UAE. They have underlined plans in regards to a rebuild at Manchester United, and that includes staying at Old Trafford, guys. Just remember that. Staying at Old Trafford. That includes staying at Old Trafford, and it also includes keeping Ruben Amorim as the manager and rebuilding the team around Ruben Amorim's philosophy. Let's wait and see what happens, guys, because it's something that we haven't had, has it? It's something that we haven't had, and it's something that we need. I spoke about it in depth in the morning, my friend. Big up. Big up, Daryl. What's going on, you legend? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you on this Tuesday. It feels like Wednesday. I don't know why. It's Tuesday, the 14th of October. Yes, my bro, Sal. Still hoping something is happening with the Sal, man. It's all I keep seeing, bro. Look, guys, as I said, Daryl, as I said, my friend, I said there's no smoke without fire. And you know what? Whilst these rumors keep, being scattered everywhere, he's talking about it, etc. There's always going to be an element of truth in regards to these rumors, my friend. Trust me, there's always going to be that thing where you think, well, maybe it's true, guys. Maybe we are going to get a full sale. The Glazers will be leaving this football club. I do have the feeling that the Glazers are loosening their hand on Manchester United, and boy, oh boy, it is a long time coming, guys. It really is. I mean, it's been 20 years, for crying out loud. Some of us can't remember a Manchester United without the Glazers. Can you imagine? Some of us can't remember a Manchester United without the Glazers. It's sad, isn't it, when you think about it? It is really sad. And when they leave, I think everyone, we deserve a drink. We deserve a celebration. We deserve it, guys. We really do deserve a proper celebration, guys. I really do feel that. I think I'll be going to Manchester, guys, to celebrate. I really do. I think it'd be one of the biggest things that happened to Man United, you know what I mean, in our history, in regards to positives. Wesley, I don't understand why Amorim didn't buy a number 8 and uses Bruno as a number 8 instead of number 10. Look, the only argument I would add, Wesley, about the summer window is that I didn't think we needed 2 number 10s. I didn't. I know I love Cunha. I love Mbeumo. We didn't need to. However, my argument would be, right? I've heard, Wesley, that we were promised midfielders in the summer. I've heard that. Right, that we were going to get a midfielder in the summer and get, obviously, Mbeumo and Cunha. It just goes to show you that we're full of liars, our football club. And maybe Ruben Amorim was manipulated into thinking that he's going to get a midfielder. We're going to get midfielders in there. Maybe that. I just don't trust our board. I don't trust who owns us at the moment. I really don't. I never have, to be honest with you. But I just don't trust who we're owned by. Ruben Amorim was thrown in with the Sharks, guys. I want people to remember that. He was thrown in with the Lions and the Sharks. He's openly said he wants a midfielder. He needs a midfielder. Let's wait and see what happens. Cunha was purchased on last year's fiscal year, right? So he's got no excuses. The Ineos have got no excuses. The Glazers have got no excuses, right? We should have signed a midfielder. There's no excuses for that, And if they couldn't afford a midfielder, then don't buy the bloody football club. Don't get your 27% vanity project. Don't do it. Should have stepped aside. Right? And that's what they should have done, in my opinion. Daryl, how comes our names have changed? I don't know, Daryl. I really don't know. Can I see something? Let me see something. Because it annoys me as well, because I like watching you guys with the names, with the actual names, because I might get it wrong. I might actually get it wrong. That's why. You know what I mean? I don't know why it's changed. I'm going to have to find out about that, guys. I'm going to have to find out about that, but I'm not too sure what's going on in regards to that. I'm not too sure. William, nothing would change the City. Money talks. If you know, you know. Absolutely, brother. Mark Gemini, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. When I see the link on the paper, then I'll believe it. Mark Gemini, when I see the link on the paper, the ink on the paper, then I'll believe it. Big up, Gemini. I hope you're doing well. That's pretty obvious, but much love to you. RDZ, we would need to play Aiden Heaven more. There is no reason Shaw should be starting over him. Absolutely agree wholeheartedly with that, mate. Absolutely agree with that statement, my friend. Dave, what's going on? The issue with Amorim is that we are always chasing games, so it's very tricky introducing academy players into games. I really hope players like JJ Gabriel will get integrated into the team. What I would say, Dave, you make a good point. That's true. It's risky. And obviously, Ruben Amorim's been put in a position where he has to win football matches. I understand that. However, there's no harm in having a JJ Gabriel on the bench. right? There's no harm. When you're winning the game, I'm not saying bring him on, but if we're winning the game 2-3-0 with a few minutes to go, why not? Why not? You know? Why not bring him on? You know, what's the point of having 3 goalkeepers, mate? You know, what's the point of having 3 goalkeepers? Why are we having Heaton, Bayern there, and Lamens? Have 2 goalkeepers. It's insanity, isn't it? You know, so instead of having Heaton or Bayern there, have JJ Gabriel on the bench. You know, it doesn't make sense. And having a couple there, Thwaites and JJ will be enough. You know, Wesley. My wife says big up, and if we lose to them on Sunday, I should burn my shirt. Never burn your Man United shirt, Wesley. Don't agree with your wife for that. Absolutely, don't agree with your wife. Your wife should not. You should not take your wife out for dinner in the next few weeks. If you know what you should say. You should tell your wife for me, right? If Liverpool beat Man United, you're not going to take her out for dinner. If Man United beat Liverpool, you would take her out for dinner. A very nice restaurant as well. Absolutely, guys. Big up, Prince. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. The Premier League is a world-class league. I appreciate it if the Premier League can make room for international referee. It would be brilliant, mate. It would be brilliant. And I think it's a godsend. I think it's something that should have happened a long, long time ago, my guy. Good to see you. Big up Rams, big up Prince, by the way. Prince Will Alexander Green. Sorry, guys, I'm getting your full names on the screen. I don't know why, but I'm going to read out your names anyway. Sorry if you want to keep it a secret, but I'm going to read it out anyway. Ram Sharma, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, brother. Hope everything is good with you, Rams. Casemiro is good at both boxes, especially defending crosses, set pieces. We're relatively weak, and that works in his favour. It does. It does. The only thing is his age and his pace. And in the Premier League, you need athleticism and you need pace, unfortunately, in that midfield. I'm not saying that we should get rid of him and that is it. I'm saying that if we need to have cover in that position, we need a player in that position so we can rotate him a little bit. I do think we need to move on, though. Real Madrid sold him for a reason. Real Madrid sold us Varane for a reason. And we need to move on now. I think we need to move on from the past and start thinking about the future, if you know what I mean, guys. Big up, though. I agree with you, Rams, though. He's as I said there, Rams, he's been a generational midfielder, CDM, probably the best CDM in the last 15 years, mate. You know, Wesley, Sal, my son's grandfather said that my son can't talk because of autism. He makes his feet do the talking with his football. Wesley, you know what? He's going to be a legend. Do you know that? Do you know that? Did you know Lionel Messi is autistic? Did you know that? Guys, yeah, it's true. Ardy said, JJ needs to be training with the first team at the very least. He's too good for an talent. He's a generational, Ardy said. I think Man United need to swiftly move him into the first team squad. I think they do. I think they need to do it. Him and Thwaites, I think that they need to start integrating them into the first team now, in my opinion. My son, big up RDZ. My son will see the backs of the Glazers. I hope so. I hope so, mate. My father is not even a Liverpool. My father is a Liverpool supporter. My father's a Huddersfield supporter. My mum is a Wimbledon supporter. My older brother is a Tottenham supporter. My younger brother is a Liverpool supporter. So you can imagine the debates and arguments that happen in that household on a weekend, guys. You can imagine it, isn't it? You know, absolutely. Alex Ferguson, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Imagine it was the real Alex Ferguson. I know. So if we bought Wharton, do you think Cunha could play as a number 8 in the midfield? Cunha is very good at carrying the ball from defence to attack. Just a thought. Do you know what, Alex? He does it for Brazil. He does it for Brazil. I can't see why not. I think he'd be better in that position than Bruno. Have you seen the way... You make a point there, Alex Ferguson. You make a point because it's a good one. Have you seen Cunha on the sixpence when he turns? When he turns with that ball? That's what you need in the centre midfield as a number 8. You need that ability to turn on sixpence. It wouldn't be a bad idea, mate. It wouldn't be a bad shout. However, just like Mbeumo should play on the right sometimes, I just don't think he's going to do it. I just don't. You know, as sad as it is, absolutely. Daryl, I think it's because YouTuber. Is it happening everywhere, Daryl? I don't know. I don't really watch everyone, of course, but mine seems to be funny enough. Absolutely. Sorry, my bad. Wrong chat. Tony. All right, mate. Big up, mate. I'm not going to read the other one. Big up. Sal, what's your predicted league position for this season? I see the teams that will be in the top 4. I'll just be consistent. The league is very open. I think it's very open, Dave. Big up, Dave Matthew. What's going on, mate? Again, I I'm going to be extremely controversial here, guys. I think Man United are going to come fifth. I think Man United are going to come fifth and get Champions League. I've got this feeling, guys. I think at the moment we're going to come fifth. I know it's reduced from the beginning of the season. But anything can happen this season, guys. I do feel that there's going to be surprises. I do feel there's going to be surprises, guys. I really do. I feel that. Absolutely. And you never know what's going to happen in football. Hey, we got what's going on, my friend. Dan, is it that? What's going on, mate? Hope you're doing well, mate. Guys, saw your names are coming out wrong. So I think that's Danny B. I think your names are coming out as your full names, guys. Apologize about that. Wesley, so if the UAE takes full control and fires Amarim, who do you think they will take as their replacement? I don't know, mate. And I think that's a long way away, mate. I just hope that Ruben Amorim succeeds. That's all I hope. I don't want to be sacking managers, pal. I really don't. And I don't think there's anyone out there that stands out. That, like, wow, he's a manager. You know what I mean? He's a good manager. He can take Man United forward. I just can't see anyone standing out, my friend. I really can't. But you never know what happens in football, isn't it? If there was a manager that stands out, none, mate. None for me, to be honest with you. None at the moment. Yeah, absolutely none at the moment. With Ishmael, with Amram, we shall be relegated. No, mate, we won't. We won't. That's a silly opinion, Ishmael. Absolutely not. Support your football team, support your manager. That's what you should do, mate. If not, go to your history and learn about Manchester United. And don't feed into those narratives there, mate, at the end of the day. All right? It's absolute bullcrap. Dave, I see that in the top 5-2, that one game, a week will come to help us deep into the season. Most teams are in the top 4 competition, plus there is the international games, players will be exhausted. I agree with Dave. I've got this feeling, Dave. I don't know, mate. I just got this weird feeling that Man United are going to surprise a lot of people. Excuse me for saying. You know what I mean? I know people like Ishmael won't be happy, but you know what? I think they're going to surprise a lot of people, of course. Hey, big up Wesley. What is going on? Zidane won't take the job. He can't talk English. And I don't think he's the right choice either. He had a Real Madrid team that anyone could win with. And Ancelotti proved that. Gareth Bale, Cristiano Ronaldo, Benzema, Toni Kroos, Toni Modric. Come on. Like, you know what I mean? Luka Modric. 6 likes or 50, guys. Guys, what's going on? 45 in the house. Why is there not 50 likes? What's going on, guys? Please don't forget to smash the like button, guys. We need to get minimum 50 likes on Chatterbox, guys. Very, very important, of course, guys. Absolutely. My real name is Alex Ferguson. No bullshit, mate. I was named after Alex Higgins, the snooker player. I'm 43, same so it'd be a great Alex Ferguson to look back to the top. Great name, mate. Great name. Alex Higgins, great snooker player. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Wally O'Sullivan's my guy. I once met Wally O'Sullivan way back in the 90s. I met him at the same time I met George Best, funny enough, in the 90s. They came for a celebrity football match down in Leighton. And Ronnie O'Sullivan was very young. It was about 1996, I think it was, 95, 96. And managed to meet George Best. He was in his leather jacket. Was supposed to play in the celebrity game, but didn't. But I got to meet him, which I'm forever proud of course. So I agree with you. Man United will finish top 5 with Lamens in goal. Look, guys, you mentioned that, Prince. Absolutely, brother. Sending Lamens is a breath of fresh air. He's what we've needed. He adds that calmness, that assertiveness into our team that we've been missing. Do you know what I mean? He adds that, mate. You know what I mean? And I'm proud of him. I'm proud that he's in the team because I've been following him for over a year, and I'm delighted we got him, and I'm delighted he's going to prove what I've been saying right, And I'm glad, and I think what he gives, when we're in there, and even De Gea didn't give us, was calmness, authority. It reminds me, of one of those great goalkeepers of the past, guys. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Really appreciate you. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, of course, guys. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. Don't forget to put your notifications on, all that jazz, guys. Please don't forget to do that as well. Really helps the channel, guys, grow, etc. We're building day by day, guys. We'll continue going. Destination 100,000 subscribers, guys. That is what we're going to get. We're going to get that plaque. Over here, guys, absolutely, we should. We will, guys, absolutely. Let me just read Wesley's comment. We should actually do well without Champions League football, lesser games, but I don't understand why we play 1 week the best football in the world. The next week we play shite. It's been going on like that for years, Wesley, under Eric Ten Hag, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. These players, especially the players that have been there a number of years, switch it on and off whenever they like, and that is a mentality, culture issue, and it needs to change. This is why I would get rid of the players that have been there a long time. That's what I would do. Guys, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Much love to you all. I will see you in the morning for Breaking Dawn, guys. Don't forget to join me for that. Should be a great show as well, guys. Have a great evening. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox. I shall see you tomorrow. Have a good evening, morning, night, wherever you are in the world, guys. Peace.